Welcome everyone to round 5 of the Zero Weekday series from Laguna Seca. This is honestly one of the more interesting tracks we go to with the famous kink, amongst other features. Very tight track. It's the 5th round of the championship, and we're ready to kick this off. On the pole position, we have Jason Monds. Joining him on row 1 is Martin Lauer, all Mercedes front row. In fact, all Mercedes top 3 with Quintus Gillespie third. Wesley Stokes is the top BMW racer. Sorry, little problem there with the free cam. In 4th place, Rick Martel. 5th in the Mercedes. Mark Klapzool, 6th in the BMW. Mercedes race winner Matthew Wheeler in 7th place. Dule Markovic in the BMW is 8th. 9th, Michael Magasevich in the Audi, and Audi's Tom Waz is 10th. Only 2 Audis in the field. It's a bit of weak showing from them. Here we go. Bit of a weak start there from Mons, or a very good one from Martin Lauer is, of course, the other possibility. Lauer goes into the lead at corner 1. Still a Mercedes 1, 2, 3, 4, actually, with Rick Martel getting off the line quite well. Wesley Stokes and Matt Wheeler going past. Oh, whoa! A couple of problems there. Wheeler's off, Gillespie's off, Martel's off. Terrible for the Mercedes crew outside of these top 2 as Lauer and Mons lead the way through. 3rd place is Wesley Stokes. 4th place, Quintus Gillespie. Mark Klapzool's up to 5th. 6th for Tom Waz. 7th for Mike Magasevich. 8th for Matt Wheeler. Don't expect that to last very long. Wheeler is quick here. And Magasevich has been struggling throughout the qualifying and practice sessions to put up consistent time. After that, we have Rick Martel all the way back, only ahead of Dule Markovic in 9th place. Still at the front. Through the corkscrew we go! Leading the way still is Martin Lauer, Mons, Stokes, Gillespie, Klapzool, Waz, Magasevich still in front of Wheeler. Wheeler putting the pressure on. Can he make a move here? I think we ended up skipping forward there. Pardon me. There we go. That seems to be back about where we were. Wheeler putting the pressure on Magasevich here. This is a battle for 6th place. And looks like he'll make the pass into the final turn. Looks like. He's got the DRS. Can't see Magasevich holding this. Little contact. Little squeeze. Wheeler's got this, though. Martel coming up in behind them, along with Markovic. Back at the front, Martin Lauer still leading from Jason Monds. Monds in 2nd. Stokes under pressure from Gillespie. Almost an all-Mercedes podium again. And then it's the Red Bull duel of Klapzool and Waz. 7th place for Wheeler. 8th place Magasevich. 9th place for Martel. And 10th place for Dule Markovic. Battle at the front continues here as we go through lap 2 through the corkscrew. Mons, of course, been a dominant championship leader so far, but Lauer's been coming on the last couple of races, looking to possibly put a little bit of a challenge to his Mercedes teammate. Gillespie's bagged 3rd at some point here from Wesley Stokes. Mark Klapzool also coming to the picture here. Magasevich actually is harrying Wheeler, so staying with the Mercedes driver, although I don't think he has the pace to make up the ground. It also helps that Wheeler again with that DRS. It's a really good strategy actually to make the pass on the way into the next lap, because it allows you to completely dominate the DRS particular portions of the race. Although Laguna Seca is admittedly, Dule Markovic off. In fairness, Laguna Seca, one of the weaker forms of DRS tracks that the Zero Series goes to. Not a particularly important one, as you lack a lot of straightaways, a lot of twisty stuff. Martin Lauer and Jason Monds are just starting to really run away for this. It's a 2-horse race, I think, at this point between the 2 Mercedes drivers. both rookies to the series who have made a tremendous impact here in the rookie season. Gillespie is third. Looks like he's pulled fairly far away from Stokes, making this an all-Mercedes podium. There's Stokes in the background, still in fourth. Then it's Klapzul. Tom Waz taking out some pylon. Wheeler, Magsevich. Then it's going to be Martel and Markovic. Lap 4 begins. Still pressure on Martin Lauer. Monds is not going away, but doesn't seem to quite have the edge over his teammate in any particular location. So he's not able to put a tremendous amount of pressure on quite yet. I think Tom Waz has gone off at some point. Let's have a look. He was in 6th place and he's now back in 9th. So what has happened to the Red Bull Audi driver? Tom Waz getting to be like the lead Audi driver for the first time I think this season. Looks like there may have been a collision between both the Audis, maybe? Let's see what happens here. So he's still in 6th place. Loses it on the rumble strip of the last turn, and it's not too pretty from Magasevich either there as he careens into the wall. Matt Wheeler goes past him, and Rick Martel takes both of them. And that's the Audis back into 8th and 9th, I believe. Huge windfall for Mercedes if they can take the top 3 here and have only the Audis in 8th and 9th. Also, big chance for BMW to try and get somewhere into this competition for the Constructors' Championship. Top BMW is currently Wes Stokes in 4th and Mark Klapzul in 5th. And then I believe Dule Markovic is the other BMW at the back of the pack. Wes Stokes seems to be coming back just a little bit at Quintus Gillespie, not a ton. Perhaps the Mercedes driver is wearing his tires a little bit more than the BMW. This track should suit the BMW's abilities, to be honest. They've historically had some problems this season with high-speed tracks. They're not terribly conducive to running the low wing that the Audis and the Mercedes seem to be able to get away with. So a twisty place like Laguna Seca, more of a high downforce track, should favor the BMWs a little bit more, as they still seek their first win of the season. Something has happened to Matthew Wheeler. He's back at the back of the pack. Let's see what happened here. Was in P6, having a pretty solid run. Looks like he is our first victim of the corkscrew. Alright, so we ride along with Matt Wheeler here as he heads into the corkscrew, and it looks like he just loses the back end. Spins it around, through goes Martel, through goes Magasevich, through goes Waz. I think Dule Markovic is going to show up here as well. There comes Dule and the BMW. And Matt Wheeler goes to the back of the pack. Bit of heartbreak for the Aussie. By the way, this is Wheeler's debut in the Weekday series. He's been a weekend-only racer this season, although, of course, a championship contender the prior year. Has been struggling with the high-powered rear-wheel drive DTM cars so far this season, though a 2-time race winner, with wins at the Norris Ring and Bathurst. Looks like Stokes is still crawling back at Gillespie, so maybe the BMW tires are really starting to come on and the Mercedes are fading, but still a 1-2-3 Mercedes running cars right now. It's a beautiful shot through the kink, to be honest. Rick Martel's clobbered his way up in a 6th. Head of Michael Magasevich in 7th. P8 for Tom Waz, P9 for Dule Markovic, and P10 for Matt Wheeler. Martin Lauer still holding his own at the front of the track. It's been a very successful rookie season for both of these men. Both looking to possibly claim themselves as champion. They would be the second Canadians to manage to defeat Rick Martel, champion in Season 1. Stokes seems to be falling back off the back end of Gillespie now, so maybe a pickup from the third Mercedes driver. Mike Magasevich trying to make some headway for Audi. He's on the tail of the 6th place Mercedes of Rick Martel. I mean, it should be mentioned, Martel is a non-point scoring Mercedes right now for the Constructors title, and he is battling with the Audi team leader. It's been some dark days for Audi with the absence of Carl Raggio, and today even the absence of Alessio De Bonis. Dule Markovic has passed Tom Waz, who is having more problems. That's going to send the Red Bull driver to the back of the pack and struggling to bring the car under control there. One of the two 2015 spec cars in the grid, the other one is Matt Wheeler, so the 2015's not necessarily seeming to have the best of luck here at Laguna Seca. Jason Monds still there to pressure Martin Lauer, but I mean, you got to feel he knows that second place is pretty much good enough for him right now. Not a tremendous amount of need to force the issue on a relatively hard to pass track. Laguna Seca is more of a pass by mistake than anything else as they head into the corkscrew. Or pardon me, the kink, then into the corkscrew. Such a lovely complex. Incredibly difficult to drive on if you have not experienced this racetrack, is the kink to the corkscrew here. This corkscrew is truly the most difficult to get right turn on the calendar. Quintus Gillespie, we thought he was pulling away from Wes Stokes, but Stokes appears to have had a little bit of a problem going through the kink, and that's going to let the Mercedes driver skip away a little bit. Everyone else holding... Oh, whoa, whoa! Jason Monds has taken the lead. We completely missed this. What happened here? It must have been just at the end of the lap. It looks like, I was saying how mistakes were largely required to make passes, and I think Martin Lauer just made a huge mistake there and just took the barrier, slid into the uprights, and the pole sitter Jason Monds is through into the lead. Pole sitter, championship leader, and now race leader, Jason Monds. It is an all-Mercedes podium still with the BMW of Wes Stokes in 4th, another BMW in Mark Klapzul, Mercedes is Rick Martel, Audi top driver Mike Magasevich, Dule Markovic in the 3rd BMW in 8th place, Matt Wheeler in the 9th place Mercedes, and 10th place for the Audi of Tom Waz, half the field in Mercedes today. Mercedes seems to have settled out their driving program lately. At the start of the season, they were a little bit light on drivers at a couple of rounds. It seems like they've got a really good core right now, led by this man, championship leader Jason Monds. Martin Lauer seeking to become a 2-division champion. No one has actually done that in the history of Zero Racing. He's got a mountain to climb, though, as he's lost the lead here. The man he's largely competing with is Jason Monds, the car ahead of him, and also with Alessio De Bonis, who is the leader in the weekend series. Sadly, no real battles on the track right now. The mistake by Stokes taking the pressure off of 3rd place, and of course, Monds taking the lead. And sort of vanishing into the distance. It feels like he may have actually had the pace on Lauer the whole time and just wasn't going to push the issue. Mark Klapzul, though, is catching up on Stokes. Battle for BMW supremacy, perhaps. Notably absent is the BMW team leader Mike Mark. This shot through the corkscrew, just lovely. Truly a magnificent turn. You can see how difficult the turn really is to get right as you look at like the different lines that are going to come up here. Just really, oh, very rough line there from Wes Stokes. I'm going to take a look at Rick Martel's line through the corkscrew here as well. Beautiful work. Not a wheel wrong. Dule Markovic locks it up, and he's way off the track. Will this open the door for Matt Wheeler? Was trailing the BMW. Still is. But maybe a bit of a snip now for the Mercedes driver. Also noted the only multi-time champion in Zero history, Matt Wheeler. I think Markovic is a little bit off his game now. Gets very wide into corner one after that mix up at the corkscrew. I think this is the opening Wheeler needs to push to get past Markovic, who's been relatively clean today. He's picked up the scraps where it's been available. Truly a trendsetter here, one of the few European drivers in the field. I think the battle to get a BMW on the podium is largely over. Gillespie has really put the boots to Stokes, and Stokes now has to, I think, worry more about his teammate Mark Klapzool in the Red Bull BMW than he does about trying to go forward and catch up to Quintus Gillespie. Maybe just my imagination, but it looks like Wheeler is getting much closer to Dule Markovic at this point in the battle for 8th place. That should be DRS range, I would think. Let's see if he uses... Yep, DRS is on, heading into turn 1. Looks like he had to use 2 boosts of it, unfortunately. Not that there's really an ideal place to use all 3 boosts of the DRS you get per lap. This is a track that largely lacks any real substantial straightaways to do it. The start-finish line is, I would say, easily the best opportunity to use the DRS. Maybe this one straight here also is a place you would use it, but that's a pretty short straightaway for the DRS. Looks like Wheeler, however, is going to go for it. Looked like he did pull the DRS up there. A much more extreme wing from Matt Wheeler, known for running these low downforce setups. This is not a track that really particularly suits them, but it still does give him an edge in the straights over Markovic's BMW. We will be heading to Mid-Ohio after this, which will suit a lower downforce a little bit better. And then, of course, the home of North American motorsports, really, Indianapolis for round 7. Then it's off to Race Room and the Asian leg of our tour in Thailand and Japan to finish the series. So we have that to look forward to. Looks like Tom Waz has fallen down a lap. Well, we've been watching this squabble in front of him. Doesn't seem like Wheeler can quite pull in Markovic. Oh, Quintus Gillespie has had an incident. It looks like Tom Waz has. Have we had a bit of an incident under blue flag, perhaps? Yeah, it looks like Waz just out of control, slamming into Quintus Gillespie. Hopefully that does not endanger the number 34 car's podium. Don't see Wes Stokes in the picture yet. He is the car in 4th place. Stokes will get around Waz, but that is all for now. It looks like Mark Labzul's charge for 4th place may have come to an end. It seems like he's losing ground now at this point to Wes Stokes in the battle for the lead BMW spot. And of course, Stokes has got the scent again of Quintus Gillespie. Owes a little bit of a high five to the Audi driver Tom Waz. But running out of time to really make this happen. This is the last lap. In fact, I believe that may have actually been the final lap, unfortunately. So Jason Monds wins the race from Martin Lauer and Quintus Gillespie in a 3-man Mercedes podium. Top BMW is Wes Stokes. He's followed up by not Tom Waz, he's 10th place. Mark Labzul in the BMW gets in the top 5. Rick Martel, Mike Magasevich, top Audi, 7th place. P8 for Dule Markovic. P9 for Matt Wheeler. I do believe that may be his worst result of his career. And pole for race 2 will belong to Tom Waz here at Laguna Seca. Pole being a pretty key thing. If he can get a good start, which he's known to reasonably do, that's one of the theoretical advantages of the 2015 spec cars is possibly a better ability to get off the line. Could be a big deal. And the Audis have, generally speaking, been good starters all season long. So tune in for race 2 from Laguna Seca.